Good afternoon and welcome to the Melbourne Cricket Ground for the match of the day between North Melbourne and Geelong. The Kangaroos 4th on the ladder and Geelong the Cats 6th on the ladder. And North have won their last 5 matches in a row, and Geelong will be looking to bounce back after what was a pretty disgraceful performance a couple of weeks ago against the Brisbane Bears on the Gold Coast at Carrara. On the bench for North Melbourne, Rowan Robertson and Donald McDonald in his 100th game. And on the bench for Geelong, Ray Card and Damien Burke, both coming back from injury. Boss gets possession out of the middle, but it's a free kick and it goes to Mossop. Now with North Melbourne, after many, many years playing for Geelong, today against his old team. Mighty kick towards full forward, comes to the back, and a chance here for Flanagan to get the hand pass away. And out of trouble go the Cats. It goes on to Troy, up towards half-back flank, and the mark there taken by Bairstow. Geelong working down the outer side. Couch, bit of trouble here for you, son. Pushed off his kick. Down he goes. Peter German picks up for the Kangaroos and puts it out wide to Phil Cracker.
Beautiful kick by German. Phil Cracker between wing and half forward. Short pass is a good one. McCann's on the end of it. 60 metres away from goal, main scoreboard end. Perfect conditions at the MCG. McCann punts, high, long, forward. Punched through by the Geelong defence, and the first score of the match 1 minute after the start, and it's a behind to North Melbourne.
Yes, good play by McCann. He's gives him a target there, the North Melbourne side up there at full forward, and a perfect pass from Phil Cracker.
And the shot from behind the goals tells you how they bunch at centre half back waiting for the kick in. German almost. Ball at ground level. The hand pass is whipped out by Jonas. Backwards to Phil Cracker, almost back at the wing. Don't think that was meant for Mossop, but he got a finger to it. Goes to Jim Cracker, on to Jonas, puts it up wide. Dwyer. And they're losing ground. Andrew Buse, good spin, but he's caught beautifully by Jim Cracker. Play on, says the umpire. It comes up the ground of Bruns. His kick towards the centre of the ground comes unstuck. Scholl it was.
Scholl kicks the ball to half forward for North Melbourne. Chance for Exel. Pushed by Jonas, and the umpire awards a free kick to the blonde-headed Geelong defender. He plays on quickly and gives it to Boss. Boss runs through centre half back, decides on a long one towards centre half forward. Chance for Russell, opposed by Law. Good play, Johnny Law. Good tackle by Gary Ablett, trying to break through. The Cats in trouble. Couch, his kick smothered by Law. Law comes through strong. Good play there for Geelong by Stephen Hocking, and a free kick has been awarded to the Geelong player at half forward. He's 60 metres out from goal. He plays on quickly. It's a great pass, and he finds Ablett inside the 50-metre line. Distance not a problem.
He should make that distance from there, Gary Ablett. He should kick 55 to 60 metres without any trouble. And in perfect conditions such as this, the wind won't be a factor at all.
Ablett punts for goal, gets onto the drop punt. It's close. Just touched, but it was offline. And the first score for the Cats, a behind. 3 minutes gone, 1 point apiece.
Interesting assignment for Darren Steele there, back after missing 2 weeks through injury. His opponent Ablett. He was nowhere near him that time. Oh, here's a mighty kick in by Harris. That has gone 70 metres, and the mark up the ground has been taken by Dwyer. Not far short of the centre circle. Pops it out wide to German. And what an advantage it is to have a long kicking full back like Harris. On to Jim Cracker. Beautiful pass to McCann, but he couldn't quite take the mark. Bursting out of defence, Troy. Bruns is there over the top of the ball. Now the umpires are going to rule differently on this. Players hovering over the ball, you have to do something to get rid of it, otherwise you'll be penalised for holding it. This time the free kick goes to Bruns, his second from centre half back.
Well, it could have been a free kick against Gary Ablett. He flew a little too early, and umpire Clayton has decided that's so. The free kick will go to Mossop. In the centre of the ground, big John Mossop kicks a long one towards centre half forward. High flyers wanted. Good mark taken by Fairley for North Melbourne, right on the 50-metre line. Considering the fact that the weather was supposed to be bad, we've fluked a beautiful day in Melbourne. Fairley's kick's a beauty. Long, just offline, through for behind to North Melbourne. 4.5 minutes gone, North Melbourne 2 behinds, Geelong 1.
Yes, these are the days that you really miss playing football. The perfect conditions at the MCG, and there's no better place to play football.
Bruns takes the kick in, but it's too long for Stoneham near centre wing. and it's knocked away by Ross Smith and goes out of bounds. They gained a fair bit of territory there, Geelong, but have lost possession with a contested ball here with a boundary throw-in. Mossop over the top of Stoneham. Hocking, whistle's gone, and it's to be a Geelong free kick to be taken by Cole. He goes long and high towards centre half forward. Ablett, not quite. Steele punches away, but hasn't controlled the ball yet. Comes out with it though, Darren Steele. He's won 1 million possessions this year. Finishes up with Law. Goes long to Fairley at the 50 for North Melbourne. Tap back by Boss. And Buse for the Cats.
Well, he nearly did it well there, Buse. As a matter of fact, he's been rewarded by perseverance. He gets the kick towards centre half back. Mark taken by Bairstow. Bairstow will run through the centre. He chips a short one in and finds just short of half forward Gary Cameron. Cameron takes the mark for the Cats. He kicks in short. It's not a bad pass either. He's found Couch right on the 50-metre line, and a chance for Couch to kick the first goal of the match. He kicks the ball well.
He's a good kick, Couch. Left foot kick. He'll be kicking this from 55 metres out. Might just test him a little bit.
Gets onto the drop punt, striving for distance, came off it a little, and has put it out of bounds on the full in the forward pocket. The free kick will go to North Melbourne to be taken by Johnny Law.
Lead by Flanagan back towards the half-back flank, but Law goes long. Mossop almost over the top. Off the ground's a great little pick up there, and hooked in by Cameron. Out of bounds again, and on that occasion David Cameron.
Should have been a centering kick, that one, instead of going for distance and a shot at goal on the left foot.
Harris kicks the ball towards half-back. Mossop in front, can't mark. Chance for Flanagan. Oh, good play there by North Melbourne to get it clear. Larkin on the end of it, feeds it inboard. Demetrio striding long towards goal. Gives Cracker the chance, Jimmy. Well done, Buse. Solid. Hand pass into the centre. Bairstow looking for someone to run past. He waited and seemed like an eternity. Troy up towards full forward, punched away. Steele, tremendous player for North Melbourne. There's Scholl, feeds it onto German. German out to the wing. There's a loose player here. Chance now for Fairley. Fairley kicks it up towards half forward. It's a high ball. The Geelong defenders given every opportunity to clear it away. Boss it is. Feeds it inboard to Baldwin. Baldwin onto Flanagan. Flanagan's kicks a poor one out towards Brownless. Brownless a little slow. Pushed in the back maybe. Yes, says umpire Clayton. And Brownless takes the free kick for the Cats.
Big Billy Brownless back after playing the last 6 in the reserves. Michael Turner dropped this week for Geelong after 14 seasons. Never been dropped before. Here's a Geelong free kick and it's going to Russell. Inside centre half forward right in front. Steele didn't like the decision too much. And none of the North defenders. And actually, I've got to say that these days you do not see all that many goals kicked from free kicks. It looked as though Ablett was the one that... Ablett is the one who will take the free kick, and he puts it right through the middle against Darren Steele, Ablett's opponent. And Gary Ablett, who's been dropped by the Victorian selectors for inconsistent form, just yet could turn it on today.
Yes, true. He's the key to this Geelong forward line. When Gary Ablett's firing, the sides really seems to be firing. But as Ted Whitten explained this morning, he seems to be fairly inconsistent. And if he's not kicking goals and getting the ball, he's just not doing enough up on that forward line.
The Cats, the first goal of the match. Punch towards half forward. No one can break clear out of the centre group of players. Peter German comes up with it. Umpire Clayton will bounce. We've played nearly 9 minutes. Geelong 7, plays North Melbourne 2.
Umpires Ian Clayton and Peter Cameron. Comes out of the middle here and the Cats go forward through Hocking. Play on, it comes to Steele. He's given his opponent a goal, but he's looked all right so far, Darren Steele. Comes to German, onto Larkin. His first possession, I reckon. Inboard to Demetrio. Waits for the hand pass. Fairley, back to Larkin. Fumbling at the 50. Ball flicked out. It's going to be red hot at ground level. You can't just get over the ball and hover. Cole gets the hand pass back. Boss's kick smothered, so he goes the punch. Demetrio back to German. Lots of pressure, up high. No distance, a lot of height. That's a real scrap. Flicked out, goes to Larkin. Hand pass intercepted. That is beautiful play, and it finishes up with Cameron.
Into the centre, David Cameron takes the ball. On to Stoneham, forced to kick quickly with the left foot, and it's to Geelong's advantage because Bruns takes the mark at half forward. He plays on and kicks it towards centre half forward, looking for Ablett. Mossop chips in and takes the mark at centre half back for North Melbourne. Big John Mossop plays on. A wobbly looking kick finds its target. Peter German on the wing. Perfect conditions at the MCG, and what a treat it is to watch a game of football. Fourth kick coming up for German. In these conditions, he hand passes over the top. There's a chance now for North Melbourne's Kerr, one of their younger players. Kicks it up towards full forward. McCann takes the mark in front of Darcy.
Well, Darcy was great whipping the ball out of defence about a minute ago, and now he's conceded the mark to McCann, and it might cost him a goal. Should do.
Yes, good strong mark though by Stephen McCann. Backing back into the play.
Punts for goal. And he would be very disappointed with that because in the 80s, players shouldn't miss from 35 or 40 metres out like that. Behind at North Melbourne.
Baldwin leading into the back pocket. This number 44, he's playing his first game of league footy, came from Finley in New South Wales and through Assumption College. Up towards the wing, close to the boundary line. Excellent mark for Stoneham. A centimetre or two inside the white line. 7-3, Geelong lead at the 11.5-minute mark. Ablett in the big pack, can't take the mark. Gary Cameron's there, paddling the ball out, goes to Demetrio, on to Cracker, and back he goes there to Clarkson. Man who kicked the winning goal 2 weeks ago. Demetrio punches 20 metres up the ground, inside half forward. Cole is there. You only get one chance, son. In a hurry, the ball out of defence by Boss. Just short of the centre to Gary Cameron. Beautiful pass to half forward. Ablett.
That's where he should be, in front. He's tried to take 3 or 4 speckies in the opening 10 minutes from behind. And there he is in front. Inside 50 metres. Thumps the ball goalwards. Pulls across his body. Good mark taken in the forward pocket for Geelong by Brownless. Clean possession to Billy Brownless. Great to see him back taking those strong marks in the forward line for Geelong.
Yes, a very poor kick by Gary Ablett there. You know, he's only kicking from 45 metres out.
Brownless runs around the man on the mark. It looks okay. It is. It's a goal. And Geelong are doing well. 12 minutes, nearly 13 minutes gone. They're 2-1-13. North Melbourne 3 behinds.
Just getting back to Gary Ablett, he seems to be playing without a lot of confidence at the moment. Where he takes the mark, he only had a shot from 45 metres out. It slewed off the side of his boot. Unfortunately, Billy Brownless was there to take the mark. But normally he could just about put that down for a goal to Gary Ablett.
Well, he's been known to kick goals from about 65 metres, so 45 shouldn't worry.
Well, that's right, on perfect conditions such as this, but he seemed to hurry the kick a lot. But there's an excellent mark to Billy Brownless.
Tapped out in the middle by Flanagan, down to Gary Cameron. High kick inside half forward again. Oh, it comes off hands here to David Cameron, 26. Loses control to Kerr. Back to Phil Cracker. His kick up the centre wing is too wide for Dwyer and out of bounds on the full.
Good play by Stone to put Cracker under pressure. Johnny Devine, well, is that a satisfied look at the coach? A little bit too early to tell. The ball up towards half forward. Brownless elected to stay on the ground, the punch away. Couch on the end of it, kicks it into the pocket. Bruns, boundary line too close. Young Kerr there for North Melbourne, and we'll have a throw in only 5 metres around from the Geelong goal. The Cats 2-1-13, leading by 10 points. North Melbourne 3 behinds.
And clean possession, Russell tries to break clear. The hand pass astray to Harris. He gets it across to Kerr. Bumbled kick out towards the half-back flank. One-on-one competition here. Baldwin over the boundary line from Demetrio. The umpire calls for the boundary throw-in. And this man hasn't been phased, or this boy hasn't been phased by his first game, Baldwin.
doing well. Boundary throw in, half forward. The Cats in attack. Chance there for Russell. He couldn't break clear. Bairstow tried to tap on. Hit when he didn't have the ball. A little too high, says umpire Clayton. And Bairstow to take the free kick for the Cats. Perhaps a little too far out to score.
Yes, I wouldn't fancy him from this position.
A neat 60-metre kick by Bairstow. Kicks accurately. Right on the edge of the square. There's a chance for Geelong. Rush through for a behind by the North Melbourne defence. And the Cats go to 2-2-14, leading by 11 points. North Melbourne 3 behinds.
And they've started very well today, Geelong, a lot better than they did a couple of weeks ago up at Carrara.
Well, you wouldn't need much more incentive than that, I reckon. Another 70-metre kick in by Harris. Stoneham gets the hand pass away. It comes away to Cameron. On he goes to Bairstow. Hand pass now to Gary Cameron. Trouble, picking the ball up 20 metres out. Oh, he's in the back. This will be a free to Geelong right in front. Mark Bairstow, the former Sandover medalist. Last year's medalist from WA. And have a look at this. As I said before, you don't see many goals from free kicks these days, but oh, I'm afraid that was pretty clear. And right in front, his second kick, he puts it right through the middle for a goal. And the Cats, with John Devine's words still ringing in their ears, I reckon, have made a good start.
Yes, they have, but it's been a lacklustre start by North Melbourne. For a side that's playing for a spot in the 5, I suppose Geelong are also doing that, of course, but I thought North Melbourne would have started a lot better than this. There's a free kick again, a very obvious one from a crude tackle from the Robert Kerr, the North Melbourne player was. There's no doubt about that free kick.
Geelong by 17 points. They get the tap out, North Melbourne through Mossop, German, around the neck. A little fortunate, perhaps. Could have even been a play-on decision, but German to take the free kick in the centre. Kicks it up towards centre-half forward. McCann can't mark. Cleaning up views. Out wide, Boss, a little slow. Oh, good backing up by the Cats. They come out of defence through Darcy. Darcy into the centre, Bairstow, running by his runs. And Geelong have got it going nicely. Up into the pocket, no mark. Ablett shoots for goal and puts it through. Second goal to Ablett. Fourth goal to the Cats.
Yes, and brilliant roving by Gary Ablett. And they're looking quite good today, Geelong. They're running the ball really well out of that back line and giving the forwards a lot of chance. There's plenty of space down on that forward line. North Melbourne didn't have a chance there to get their defenders back in position. And then Gary Ablett reading it very well off the back, snaps a beautiful goal.
He only had possession for about 1/5 of a second, and it was a top kick, wasn't it?
Back in the centre, Mossop doing well in the ruck, clearing Boss. Good pressure. Chance now for Jimmy Cracker. The bounce is a little awkward. Couch onto Bairstow. Bairstow towards centre-half forward. Looking for Cameron. Punched away by Kerr. Steele tidies up Harris. Good pressure by Cameron. Play on, says the umpire, close to the boundary line. Steele under lots of pressure from David Cameron. Gets the ball away, but just before he did, it was over the boundary line and will have a throw-in just inside the 50-metre line. It's about 40 metres out from the Geelong goal, and that man was under lots of pressure. Tremendous play by the Geelong forwards.
Yes, it's a different Geelong side this week. North Melbourne haven't been able to get their flow and game going at all, mainly because of Geelong's pressure.
Well, the Cats have started distant outsiders in this game, and they're a mile in front at the moment. Holding the ball, says umpire Clayton, and the free kick goes to North Melbourne to John Moore to take it from half-back flank. A lead by McCann, who's had to come well up the ground. Demetriou swamped by Darcy. The ball close to the line, in fact out of bounds, on centre wing. The Cats lead 4-2 to 3 behinds, and Darcy, who competed for that one, well out of position, has had to sprint back about 80 metres to pick up Mossop.
Obviously, Mossop now having a rest out of the ruck. McCann being called upon. Punches on. Chance for Demetriou. Held when he didn't have it. Now he gets a quick kick to it. Picked up by Exel. Exel's kick towards half forward. No mark taken. Good diving attempt there for Geelong by young Cameron. That's Gary Cameron up there at half forward. but he couldn't control it, and we'll have a boundary throw in between wing and half forward, slightly favouring the Cats.
Stoneham against McCann. Stoneham a finger to it. Down to Law. All Geelong here on the wing. They are running harder at the ball and contesting everything. Bruns, centering kick. Geelong outnumbered here. Good spin by Smith, but he went without it. Through goes Cameron. He went without it. German, great hand pass. Gets it across to Clarkson. There's Clarkson up the ground here. Comes into Demetrio. Chance to get around them and go for a long goal from 48 metres. One-on-one. Mossop keeps it in. No, can't quite. Out in the forward pocket.
Should have just about held that one, Johnny Mossop.
20 minutes gone. The Cats have done all the major scoring. They're 4 goals, 2-26. North Melbourne 3 behinds. Throw in North Melbourne's forward pocket area. They're going to come out too easily, the Cats. Bruns to half back. Good mark taken by Phil Cracker over Couch. 4th kick for the little North Melbourne Rover.
If he's not good enough to get in Western Australia's state squad of 30-odd, I know who is.
Concur. He's kicked towards full forward. Punched away easily. Clarkson. Inboard German. Oh, great smother there by Flanagan. Desperate stuff by the big fellow. And the ball held in by the Geelong defence. Only a matter of 25 metres out from the North Melbourne goal.
Just past the 21-minute mark, and North here with a chance to get their first goal of the match. Jimmy Cracker burrows through, beats a few of them. Boss kicks back into the pack. Oh, great stuff. The hand pass over the top to Jonas, and Jonas snaps the goal. And the hand pass coming from Sean Smith, the youngster from the ACT. Great play by that fella from Ainslie. And Jonas, who kicked 6 last week, gets on the board for North first today.
Yes, it's tremendous pressure, though, from the Geelong defence. North Melbourne are getting nothing easy up there on that forward line. But here's that handball. Magnificent. He did well to dive in and get the ball in the first place. And Peter Jonas found himself on the end of it, kicking an easy goal.
Well, maybe that's just what North need to at least get a goal on the scoreboard. Back in the centre, McCann turns his back on it, tries a backhander thump. Ablett, oh, well done. Over towards half-forward Stoneham. Ablett again. Oh, tremendous recovery. Have a look at this state selectors. Up into the pocket, and the mark's been taken by Brownless. It's paid. Play on, inboard to Bruns, and Bruns takes the mark only 20 metres out, directly in front. And Geelong a chance to answer that North Melbourne goal within a minute. 8th kick coming up for Bruns. 3rd mark. He looks fired up. He shoots for goal. Goal umpire doesn't move. Straight through the centre. 5th goal on the board for Geelong. And the first goal to Neville Bruns.
The other thing that strikes me is Brownless is probably too good a player to have been out for 8 weeks as well.
He started off very well today, Drew, but we saw him a couple of occasions early in the season where he hardly got a touch. And that was when he was playing at centre half forward. He's playing at full forward today, where I think he appreciates it a little bit more. He can certainly take a grab, and these conditions will suit him right down to the ground.
The Cats leading 32-9. Larkin quiet in the first quarter. His kick up towards centre half forward. Smith. No, looks like a bit of a rag goal, Sean Smith, but can he take a mark? 15-metre penalty. His kick didn't make the distance. I reckon his next one will, especially when you consider the 15 is 20. And now Sean Smith will kick for goal from right in front, and surely will bang this through for North second. He was at fault there. I didn't see what happened there.
Flanagan ran across the man on the mark, trying to get back into defence.
We see it from behind the goals. And never in doubt. Never in doubt from behind. Just shows you I should have watched the monitor, doesn't it? I give up.
Yeah, bad miss by Sean Smith. 30 metres out.
Kick in. Straight up the ground. Larkin. Tremendous mark over the top. Short pass. Player there for North Melbourne, Dwyer. Inside 50 metres. Got a chance to steady. The kick was smothered. Jonas can't quite break clear. Gets his kick to the ball. A chance for Buse. Good play by Exel. Interesting umpiring decision based on the fact that the player's diving on the ball. Umpire's under a lot of pressure with this decision now.
Well, I don't think there's anything different from what it used to be, Robbo. If a player fell on the ball and he didn't attempt to get rid of it, it was a free kick for holding the ball.
Cole tries to break clear. He's tackled, and Cole will take the free kick for the Cats.
Seconds away from time on in the first quarter. Cole across to Darcy. Up the ground here, and away go the Cats here through Baldwin. Socks down. I reckon that's the best way I'm going to kick him today. I've never seen him before. Ran a bit too far that time and kicked into the man. Troy gets the hand pass away, but not in time, says the umpire. He was tackled before he got it away, and the free kick to Clarkson. The kid who kicked the winning goal against Melbourne 2 weeks ago. Up the ground, all Geelong staying at the back. Exel pulled up his hand pass. Boss there to help him out. Across the ground to Bairstow. And Bairstow marks just at about half-back flank.
Good positioning by Bairstow. He kicks it into the centre. Oh, a little too slow was Gary Cameron, but he gets his kick away. Good interception by Ross Smith. He plays on quickly, out to Steele. Steele's short left foot chip finds German. German on centre wing, a little bit of space. Decides on the hand pass into McCann. He crashes his way through. Gets the hand pass away to German, who kept running. German's left foot kick towards centre half forward. Mark taken for the Cats by Cole, who's a much improved player for Geelong. 15-metre penalty. Fourth kick coming up for Michael Cole. Kicks it into the centre, finds Hocking. As Stephen Hocking runs long, hard, kicks it towards the forward pocket area. Up over the top, Brownless can't mark. Trying to take the ball clearly. Brownless there again. Tackled well by Harris. Free kick to Harris against Brownless for holding the ball. Maybe a little stiff.
Well, the Geelong are pretty stiff on that earlier decision when it was let go. It was either too high or in the back, take your pick.
He showed the strength of a bullet there, Harris, to apply the tackle and force the man back. Hey, what about this for a mark? A fantastic mark by Fairley on the white line of the centre square. Should be a bit too far out to score. Mossop near the goal square. Ground level. Demetrio caught in a great tackle by Baldwin and holding the ball. And by gee, this Baldwin's doing well in his first game.
Very good, this young guy. Very good. Bit of a desperado. Chips it out wide. Good mark taken by Cameron. He feeds it on. That's Gary Cameron. Bairstow. Out wide, Buse has run up from the back pocket. Lots of space. Kicks it long, direct. Looking for Brownless. He was pushed off the ball by Harris. Play on, says the umpire. Harris goes after it again. Kicks it towards the centre of the ground. Mark taken by Demetrio. He plays on quickly. Swings onto the left boot. Kicks it into the pocket. And a mark taken by Sean Smith. Chance to play on. Perhaps his judgment was good. Kicks it into the forward pocket area. Dwyer's there for North Melbourne. Only 30 metres out. But on a difficult angle. 5 goals to Geelong. Who would have thought this? 1-4 North after 28 minutes. Dwyer, third kick. Kicks for goal and misses.
Yeah, some bad misses up there on that North Melbourne forward line. They should have kicked, well, they've had 3 easy shots where they should have converted, and they haven't, and they're paying the penalty.
Oh, straight up the ground. 65 metres with that kick, but Fairley takes the mark for North. Running out of time to get another goal, North. Past the 28-minute mark. Mossop from behind. Flanagan in front, no mark. Baldwin again, but Cameron will take the free kick before it got to Baldwin. And this is Gary Cameron, who's had a good quarter. 6 kicks in the first term, up towards centre wing. Stoneham in the middle of the pack. Punched forward by Smith. Comes to Bairstow. His hand pass intercepted by Law. Inside half forward again. North need the Rovers. Comes back to Smith. On to Dwyer. Used to be 32. Now he's 5. Picked up by Cole. And it's going to be a North free kick to Dwyer. Young Twinkle Toes, son of Laurie. Too far out. 4-0 kick. Mossop. Front of the pack. Chance here for Clarkson. And he's holding the ball. A few of the young kids have found the pace a bit tough.
Well, Geelong have done well. I mean, you wouldn't have backed them for bad money after their performance in Carrara. Running away with the ball. 4th bounce to Buse. 5. Through half back. Nearly on the wing. Kicks with the left foot towards half forward. A one-handed attempt by Russell. No mark. Siren sounds. End of the first quarter. An entertaining one in which Geelong kicked 5 goals to 32 to lead North Melbourne 1-5-11. Goal kickers for Geelong, 2 goals to Ablett, and then singles to Bairstow, Brownless and Bruns. For North Melbourne, Peter Jonas kicked their only goal.
An excellent start by Geelong in that first quarter. It's a completely revitalised Geelong side from 2 weeks ago that we saw up on the Gold Coast. I think they were having a holiday before they got up there. But North Melbourne are looking a little bit lethargic in that first quarter. The Crackers haven't been able to get into the game, and Geelong have applied a lot of pressure. They've ran the ball well out of the back line, and they've given their forwards plenty of opportunities to kick goals.
Second quarter about to start at the MCG. Geelong brilliant in the first quarter. 5 goals to 32. Lead North Melbourne 1-5-11. Chance again for Geelong. It's at centre half forward. Stoneham tries a punch away. Geelong, North Melbourne defence under lots of pressure. Ball comes clear to half forward. Chance there for Couch. Good kick by Couch. Mark taken. In the forward pocket about 30 metres out by Russell. Well, their first quarter was impeccable, and they've started off well in the second term.
It was a brilliant mark, good strong mark by Russell. Johnny Law had to sit on him, but he was still able to drag it in. And now he's having this shot from about 35 metres out on a 45-degree angle.
Oh, shocker. That's come straight out of grade 2.
Well, he fell into the old trap of trying to steer it through, which a lot of players do when they get within that range, and I've been guilty of it myself.
Well, first score of the second quarter goes to Geelong. It's a behind to Russell. 5-3 plays 1-5.
Harris kicks in again, another 65-metre kick. Comes to the front to Kerr, playing in his third game only. Comes away here, given away to Jim Cracker. Now the Crackers need to lift here for North Melbourne. Goes to Demetrio. Jim kept on going. Look at him gather that one in. Absolutely sensational, Jimmy Cracker. The hand pass infield to German. Cracker gets it for the third time in the movement and goes bang, but too long for McCann and made it easy for Darcy. A shame because Jimmy was great then.
Darcy plays on, sees a player wide. It's Bairstow, little bit of space. Chip pass is a little too long. Out wide, chance for Couch. Back onto the left foot, kicks it in towards half forward. Oh, good talking. Hocking up towards the forward pocket area. The high flyer, Brownless. Has it been paid? Play on. Out wide, North Melbourne defence under lots of pressure. Mossop there for North. He can't break clear. Looking for the free kick. Brownless goes after it again. He flips it out. Chance for North Melbourne in shoal. Good tackle by the Geelong forwards, and they've kept it at centre half forward, only 35 metres out, and they lead by 22 points.
And it could have been more had the kick by Russell been better earlier in the quarter. Stoneman goes up, beaten by Mossop, comes down to Russell, holding the ball. He tried to shrug his way clear of a couple of tackles, backed himself and lost. Free kick to German behind centre half back for North. I reckon they will come back. The team coached by John Kennedy won't lie down. 6 kicks here to German, centre of the ground. In goes Dimitriev for it, but he's beaten to it by Hocking. Back to Bruns with the hand pass. Long and high, Ablett in front. No mark. Steele kept on going, picked up by Bairstow, and back he goes to Baldwin. High to centre half forward. That's not a bad mark. David Cameron. Well, he juggled it and finished up taking it below his shorts.
A good mark there by the young fellow. And his kick is equally as good. It finds Brownless 40 metres out on a 45-degree angle. And maybe North Melbourne's planning has been done around a forward line minus Billy Brownless.
Well, they have got plenty of talent down that forward line, Geelong. It's pretty hard to cover all their good players if they are firing up.
Brownless kicks for goal. Not a bad-looking kick. Through the centre. 6 goals, 3 Geelong, 39. 28 points in front of North Melbourne, 1-5-11. And 2 weeks ago, their performance in Brisbane was pathetic, to say the least.
Yes, and they look a lot more determined today. They've really attacked the ball with a lot more determination and desperation than they did 2 weeks ago up in Carrara. And North Melbourne are really looking a little bit sloppy so far.
Back in the centre, and Mossop wins. Well, fumbled by German, gives Couch the chance, and he drives a long kick, 55 metres. Brownless again. Out wide towards the pocket. Brownless keeps on going after it. Down goes David Cameron. And we'll have a ball up inside 50 metres. Well, earlier in the season, it was unthinkable that the Geelong forward line would be without Lindner and Turner. They were talking about the 3-pronged forward attack. Well, 1 dropped and 1 injured. Back comes Brownless, and it looks better today. Kerr for North. Once again, a couple of steps too far. Russell, the hand pass back to Hocking. Standing start from 40. Won't make it. Brownless again. Billy Brownless. Good hand pass to Gary Cameron. Across his body for goal.
Well, he was rewarded, Drew. He was the one who did the chase on young Kerr and dragged him down at centre half back, and there's the reward for tremendous perseverance.
Yes, that's what it is all about. Plenty of persistence this game is needed. And they've been able to keep that ball in the forward line. Good handball out from Billy Brownless, who's doing well up there at full forward. And a great snap over his shoulder by Gary Cameron.
What sort of a kick would you call that?
I don't know. I've never seen one like it before.
It was a wrong way torpedo, wasn't it? Back in the centre, chance for Exel. Oh, good tackling by North Melbourne at the centre bounce. And they take the ball away. A free kick will go back to Fairley. And Fairley to put the Northerners into attack. High towards centre half forward. No one there. Oh, Flanagan drops a sitter. Ball comes clear. Buse, solid as a rock. Boss, experience, out towards the wing. Stoneham can't control it, but he fights on well. Oh, good skills by the big fellow. Short pass is not bad either. And it's made even better by the, well, I don't know what you call him, Superman or whatever, Super Boot, your nickname, Bernie. But this guy has got tremendous ability. Third mark to Gary Ablett, 35 metres out, difficult angle. 6th kick coming up. He's already kicked 2 goals. Poor kick, a shocker. Oh, mark taken by another high flyer, Stoneham, in the forward pocket for the Cats.
And Stoneham was a player who delivered the ball to Gary Ablett. So good movement by Stoneham to get up there and contest that mark.
Was playing centre-half back or full-back earlier in the season, if I remember.
He was. He played full-back and centre-half back, that's true.
Stoneham kicks for goal. It's not a bad-looking kick. It's a beauty. Another goal with Geelong. They've gone on to 8 goals, 3, 51, and they lead by 40 points.
Yes, well, this is amazing how they can turn around from their performance 2 weeks ago to what they're doing now. There's North Melbourne making a change. Onto the ground comes Rowan Robertson, and John Kennedy wouldn't know what to do at this stage. North Melbourne haven't really shown anything up to this stage at all.
Robert Kerr, the man who went off. 20-year-old in his 3rd game. Flanagan wins in the middle. Through goes Law. Up to centre-half forward. And Clarkson waited for it. And it never arrived because Troy took a good mark. Troy up towards centre-half forward. Stoneham, Ablett over the top, no mark. Yes, umpire can paid it.
I think you're right the first time. No mark. It was a little bit touchy, that one. Very lucky to get away with it.
Oh, actually, it must be a free because it's going to Stoneham. Goes for the short pass. Beautiful. Bruns. Well, you can't give a man that much room. And he was given that room by Sean Smith. And now Neville Bruns for his 10th kick at the 8-minute mark, 2nd quarter. Distance 40 metres. This is a pasting. Good kick. Phew. Geelong bolters and bolting the one. 2nd goal to Neville Bruns.
Yes, and who would have believed this? 8 minutes into the 2nd quarter, Geelong are 9 goals 3, North Melbourne 1 goal 5. A 46-point advantage to the Geelong side. And North Melbourne are really struggling to even get the ball past their centre line.
Well, surely it's all happening where this guy's about to bounce the ball back in the centre. The Geelong players are desperate when it hits the ground. Perhaps not quite winning the ruck knockouts, but they're tremendous at ground level. Chance again, Stoneham. His kick from a standing position is not all that good. Oh, diving on the ball. Troy flicks it out. Bairstow nearly took it away. Umpire Clayton somehow found a free kick. Maybe a sympathetic one, and it'll go to Smith for North Melbourne. That's Sean Smith. He chips it in short. And now this time Flanagan gets his hands on it and grabs it at centre-half back. He plays on. Handball to Cole. Cole forced to come back and kick nearly from a standing position up to centre-half forward. Free kick being found out of that marking contest. Play on, says umpire Clayton. Chance for Dwyer. Dwyer's kick into the forward pocket area. Mark taken by North Melbourne, and will go to Harris. Taken away from fullback. Now down, obviously, in the forward line. And he'll kick from 35 metres for a badly needed goal for North Melbourne.
Well, if his kicks from full back are any indication, this should go out of the crowd.
Offline.
Yes, they've had a lot of those chances too. On the rare occasions they've had it down on their forward line. That's 4 shots at goal that they should have converted from 30 to 40 metres out.
John Kennedy has shuffled his youngsters. Alistair Clarkson, the match winner 2 weeks ago, off. And Robert Kerr, who was benched for about 2 minutes, back on. Centre wing, Dwyer marks for North. Popping it over the top to Steele, who's come a long way down, leaving Ablett. But Ablett chased him and applied the tackle. Great stuff. Baldwin in there. Larkin, he's had a ball about twice, I reckon. Mossop. And a poor kick. Hughes playing back pocket. State Rover. Well directed out to Cole. He had time to recover. And Cole goes long. Why not? Brownless is there. What a play! Almost dragged it down. Demetrio.
Gee, that would have been a mark of the century. Larkin, 3rd possession. Through half back. Now on centre wing. Kicks it towards half forward. No mark taken. Chance for Cole, who's doing well at half back. He fumbles, goes after it again. Can't quite get the hand pass out. And he's been penalised. Well, I don't blame you, Mick. You look very disappointed.
Red hot, that one.
Free kick to Jonas. Third kick for Peter Jonas. He'll need a 50 metres plus. He tries the torpedo, doesn't quite get onto it. To the front of the pack, mark taken by Hughes. Good play, experience, feeds it to Boss. Boss into Bruns. Bruns' handball, maybe a little astray. Bairstow under pressure. Robertson there. Left foot kick into the pocket, over Flanagan's head. And just in front of Darcy goes out for a boundary throw-in about 15 or 20 metres around from the North Melbourne goal. And their forward thrusts have been, well, without planning. Johnny Devine looking quite pleased. Chance for Jonas. Kick out of the pack. Offline. Through from behind.
Yes, the forward line is struggling up there for North Melbourne today. Mainly because they cannot move the ball down there quickly enough, and Geelong defenders have plenty of time to cover their opposition.
Darcy's kick in straight up the centre of the ground. Hocking marks, going past Boss. Gets away from Fairley. Good play, the Cats. This is great stuff. Boss again. Long kick, Brownless from behind. But McCann has been switched into defence. Takes the mark, hand pass, block. Comes back to Cameron, and David Cameron snaps a ripper.
Oh, Steve McCann. He hangs his head in shame after that handball, as well as he might, because there's the excellent running by Mark Boz out of the back line. A good mark by Steve McCann in front. Look at that handball. Desperate stuff by Cameron. And what a snap. Amazing stuff. Pretty excited young fellow, that Cameron there, as well as he may be too, because that was a fantastic snap and tremendous desperation to stop that handball from Steve McCann.
Well, who would have believed the scoreline? Mossop gets the thump away. Bairstow at ground level. Dwyer bumped off it by Baldwin. Oh, good stuff there by Russell. Can't break clear. And he's been penalised. Well, Dwyer takes the free kick. Plays on. Hand pass to a standing man. Law back to Dwyer. They just might get out of it. Waste of a kick. Demetrio in the centre, and they've progressed 15 metres. Demetrio now doesn't mess around and thumps it towards full forward. No mark taken. At the back, good pressure on Darcy. Here's a chance for Kerr. Shoots for goal and puts it through. Touched. Touched off the boot.
Yes,
it was. North Melbourne fans as well as commentators getting a little excited. And the 8th behind on the board to North Melbourne.
Darcy, short kick into Cole. He goes for a further short kick to Couch. Still only at half-back flank. 63 to 14. 49 points the difference. Midway through the second quarter. Mossop didn't attempt the mark. It's punched on. Oh, great play. Out to Bruns. Centering kick. Chance for Brownless. Drops short of him. Baldwin, number 44, socks down. Dwyer legs in. Free kick to Dwyer. What do you do?
Yeah, free kick against Billy Brownless. He pushed him in the back. Pushed the man in the back who was chasing Baldwin.
The ball goes wide. McCann takes a little while to gain a bit of composure. Back onto the left foot. Kicks it high towards half forward. No mark taken. Flanagan. Hand pass. Hocking. Good smothering tactics. Jonas flips on. Chance now for German, who's been out of the play for the last 15 or 20 minutes. Fairley. Quick kick towards half forward, marked by Cole. Geelong will be in attack in a few seconds. Cole into the centre. Bruns is on his own, and away go the Cats again. Oh, deceiving handball. Goes backwards. Couch is on the end of it. Beautiful pass by Couch. Oh, Brownless had he was licking his lips. Out of defence comes the North Melbourne team. Ross Smith at centre half back. Kicks it long towards the centre. Here's a chance for North Melbourne. Punched away by Darcy from Mossop. A quick kick out by Hughes. Oh, the Cats are doing it well. They're fantastic in defence across the centre and at half forward. The kick is a little too high. Gives Law the chance to thump it away from Russell, and it goes over the boundary line on centre wing. 10-3 plays 1-8. 16 and a half minutes into the second quarter.
McDonald on the ground, wins the tap. There's nobody there for North. Troy round the corner, and the mark to Bairstow, centre wing. He kicks it, well, if not crosswards, actually backwards to Buse. And Buse up the ground now to Ablett. Steele goes the spoil. Gary Cameron at the front. Well played. That's great stuff. Not a lot of distance with this kick. Brownless, spoiled by McCann. Back it comes to David Cameron. He snaps again, but this time misses. He's kicked 1-1 and 1 out of bounds. But it's 50 points the difference at the 17-minute mark.
Well, you mentioned something about them getting a rev after their performance a fortnight ago, and they've certainly come to the fore. Kick out towards half-back. Here they are in numbers again. Michael Cole, a short kick into the centre. Bairstow takes the mark in front of Jimmy Cracker. Plays on with kick number 8. Out wide, Bruns. Oh, kick number 88, Bruns. Up towards full forward. No mark. Interception by McDonald. Ball runs free. Law, under lots of pressure, kicks it towards half-back. Mark taken by Sean Smith for North Melbourne.
And he goes to Steele. Into Demetrio. Nobody coming to him. Pops it up high for Robertson. Buse with an easy task to run at him. It's spoiled. Pick up the crumbs himself. Exel back to Buse. Great stuff, Andy Buse. Up to centre half forward. Ablett. David Cameron. Lightning hand pass. Gary Cameron. Over the top he goes. Russell. Trouble for you, son. 45 out. Long kick. Good chance. What a goal. Well, he's been disappointing the South Australians since coming this year. He's giving them heaps today, and look at them on the bench there. And they are leading by a mile.
Yes, it's amazing what a bit of determination can do. He's come out Geelong today with a new outlook on life, and it's really paying dividends. There's Russell, who's had a fairly quiet season up to this date, but he certainly can kick the ball when he gets it, and there's a lovely snap from 45 metres out.
How'd you like to be punting on football? Unbelievable, the Cats. There they are again on the bottom of the pack, Bairstow, and he's rewarded for his efforts. Free kick in the centre, and they've led North Melbourne to the ball on every occasion. We're 19.5 minutes into the second quarter. 70 plays 14. Bairstow's kick out wide. Good play by Sean Smith. And he frustrates the chances of Couch. And it goes over for a boundary throw-in between, well, it's half-forward flank, Members side, in front of the smoker stand. Doing the ruck work for the Cats. Russell can't break away. Chance for Kerr. North Melbourne cohesion non-existent. Free kick has been paid to Law. Plays on. Handball. Ross Smith goes through the centre. Chased well by Stoneham. Now he kicks long. Out towards half forward. Chance for Phil Cracker. Back, forced to kick now with the right foot. Oh, tremendous play by Boss, is it out there? Darcy. Now Troy. Troy's kick towards the wing. Dwyer. Stoneham comes in and perhaps gives away a professional free kick. Play on. Kick towards half forward. Mossop there, fairly. Good punch away by Flanagan. Cole held when he didn't have the ball. Backed up by Darcy. Play on. The Geelong side will come clear again through Troy. Kicks it wide to the wing. Bruns. Possession number 17. Stoneham. Inboard. Chance for Gary Cameron. Short kick finds Brownless, and it's all Geelong.
And that free that was paid back there, advantage paid. The frees this quarter are 8-2 in favour of North, and yet the Cats have extended their lead from 21 points to 56. Billy Brownless drops in a long way short. Trouble here for Kerr. Can't quite get out of it either. Ablett. Oh, Jonas. Almost kicked the ball and two Geelong players about 50 metres. Ablett and Buse. But this is a ball up. In attack, Geelong again. 21.5 minutes gone in the second term. 70 plays 14. A disgrace this for North Melbourne. As bad as Geelong's disgrace 2 weeks ago. And a diving mark here, and the mark paid to Baldwin. Assumption College, they just keep on coming up with them, don't they? He's had just 4 kicks, but he's looked all right. This from 55 metres. Oh, sorry, 30 short. Diving mark, and the mark paid there. Good mark to Smith.
Smith at half-back for North Melbourne. Kicks a short one and finds Steele. Steele's handball over the top. German. Oh, shocking kick. Couch intercepts. Will be rewarded. Free kick to Couch. Held when he didn't have the ball. Don't give it away. 15-metre penalty. 6th kick for the quarter to Couch. Should put the ball right into the square. Beautiful kick by Couch. No mark taken. Brownless off the ground. Well, it was worth a try. Went through for a behind. Brownless has kicked 2 goals, 1. Ablett 2 goals, Bruns 2 goals. And look at the scoreboard. 11-5 Geelong, 1-8 North Melbourne.
Well, and they flick this score around to other grounds. People will think there's a mistake being made, I reckon. McCann. Exel underneath the ball. And a good mark to Scholl. In he goes. See, North players standing still. McDonald. Scholl ran past. Not really sprinting, just loping through up towards the centre circle to Jim Cracker. I reckon the Crackers have had about 5 kicks between them. Very disappointing. Larkin's had about 2 kicks if he's lucky. And Matthew Larkin has been fixed right up the middle by Hocking. Will kick for goal from the 50-metre line. Played for the state last time, in the squad this time, but you wouldn't know it from this display. Won't quite make it. Goal square job. North needs something. But Cole, who's been a superb defender all season and going on with the business today.
Looking for someone to give it to. Hocking's there in support. He flips it over the back. It just may come unstuck. Robertson, oh, nearly a good tackle by Hocking. Robertson inside 50 metres, goes for goal with a long one. And belatedly puts North Melbourne's 2nd goal on the board. Geelong 11-5-71, North Melbourne 2-8-20, and it was a long time between drinks.
Yes, North Melbourne have been very poor. Robertson started the game on the bench. He was brought on to give North Melbourne a lift. And it's been a long time, as I said, between drinks. Their last goal came at the 21 minute of the 1st quarter. It is now the 24-minute mark of the 2nd quarter.
Bounce favours North. Stoneham. Kick off the ground by Larkin. Good grab by Fairley. Steele over the top. Dwyer. Maybe it might be just a little bit of inspiration for North. German. Oh, good chasing by Geelong. And Geelong will take it away from half-back. Bairstow. Flanagan's kick. Bairstow. A little wide. The bounce could be nice. It is. Hocking. Kick to half-forward. Oh, tremendous mark by Cameron. This time it's David Cameron. Turns onto the left foot. A neat little chip finds Bruns.
What a game.
And he must have leprosy.
Oh. Nobody's been near him. He's just knocked up getting kicks. 14th kick to Neville Bruns. And a beautiful pass. You can put it a long way over Brownless's head because he has got such reach.
And also Steve McCann gave him 5 metres start, which is very poor defence because naturally they'll be looking for Brownless. He kicks the ball so well.
Brownless from not far off centre, 40 metres out, puts it behind. For 2 goals 2 to Billy Brownless, but actually New South Wales will be able to come up with a pretty fair state of origin team at the start of next season for that tournament in Adelaide. Brownless would be in that team. You've got a few Danahers and
Baldwin.
Yeah. Oh, there's plenty. We could go on, but we've got to call a game of footy.
McCann kicks it into half-back. No mark paid. Stoneham comes through strong. Couch. Well tackled by German. Oh, does it well, Peter German. Is there anyone there to support him? Yes, Kerr. Kerr to half-forward. Cracker. Phil Cracker. Jimmy goes after it. Buse done a tremendous job. They're outnumbered, the Troy and Buse. Here's Jimmy Cracker again. He's well tackled, well pressured. Cole's there. Buse fell over at the crucial stage. Jimmy's short kick. Dwyer. Oh, he was looking for someone to hit him, I felt. Exel. Baldwin. Here's Jimmy Cracker. Feeds the handball out. He's been free kick, according to umpire Clayton. And Jimmy Cracker will take the free kick at half forward. A short kick in towards centre half forward. Mark taken by MacDonald. Well, considering the fact that it took them quite a long time to get their second goal, MacDonald spent a long time on the interchange bench.
Yeah, it's rather surprising that, because Donald MacDonald does give this North Melbourne side a lift with his desperation. And there's a pretty lively customer, Donald MacDonald.
Shoots for goal. Beautiful kick, high, right on the line. Touched through. Well, hit the post, according to the goal umpire. And the 9th behind on the scoreboard for North. They're 2-9-21, and they trail by 51 points. 11-6-72, Geelong.
Here's Bruns again. He'll get 50 kicks at this rate if he doesn't get 40 hand passes. Back off to Buse, up to centre wing. Stoneham pulled down. No free kick. Ball comes to Kerr. Now he's been caught a few times. Picked up by Scholl. Up to half forward. Bruns again. Give him 3 votes now. Be hard to catch even with half a game to go. 6 marks he's taken. Over the top, Stoneham. Redhead to redhead.
He's playing well, Stoneham, since he's moved there up on that forward line.
Or a good player.
Very lively.
Hand pass to Buse. Balks and turns. Get past the North Melbourne defender. Kick into the pocket. Nearly a specky taken by Ross Smith. Cameron there for Geelong. He keeps the ball in. Does it well. Mossop only there to put the big wall up. Hands the ball away. And accordingly, umpire Peter Cameron. Quite a few Camerons on the field. And the free kick will be taken by David Cameron for Geelong. He punts it up towards the goal square. At the back, clean bowls Demetriou. He's backed up well by Steele. Hand pass wide, Larkin at half back. He's got plenty of space. He can run right down that outer side. Decides now to kick. A 50-50 situation. Troy punches it away. Strong play. Baldwin on the bottom of it. Well tackled by Dwyer. And is it David Dwyer to receive the free kick? Yes, it is. On centre wing.
29 minutes gone in the second term. North desperate, looking for a goal, maybe 2 before half-time. Ball out of play. This has been a great performance by Geelong, who would drive you mad if you wanted to follow them week in and week out. Well, siren beats everybody, and there's half-time at the MCG. And would you believe it, Geelong lead 11 goals to 2. And the people who came down the highway from Corio Bay, it's been worth the trip today. 11-6-72 plays 2-9-21 here at the MCG, and it's Geelong in front. And for the Cats, 2 goals to Ablett, both in the first quarter. 2 to Brownless, 2 to Bruns, and singles to Bairstow, Russell, Gary Cameron, Stoneham and David Cameron. And for North Melbourne, they've kicked just 2, Robertson and Jonas. And I reckon John Devine there, he would have been just about a razor blade job in the last fortnight. He's made a big comeback today.
Yes, a very happy man, John Devine, at half-time. Not too many worries as he goes in to speak to the boys, because they've put on a tremendous performance here at the MCG. A perfect exhibition of football, kicking 11 goals, 6 in that.
Umpire Clayton and umpire Cameron officiating. This game is very important for both sides. North Melbourne are in the 5 with 11 wins. Geelong just outside with 8 wins and a draw. Third quarter starts. Jimmy Cracker, chance for Hocking. Ross Smith for North Melbourne, kicks it back towards the centre. Boss, high towards half forward. Has the mark been paid? It has. It's David Cameron, who kicked a spectacular goal towards the end of the second quarter. And he's about to kick in short. Great mark taken by Ablett in front of Steele. 15-metre penalty against Steele. And Ablett will kick from 20 metres out directly in front. 4th mark. He's already kicked 2 goals, Gary Ablett. And North Melbourne really don't need this. He kicks it straight through the centre. 3rd goal to Ablett, 12th goal to Geelong.
Yes, and that's exactly right. North Melbourne did not need that. That makes them 57 points down and really struggling. It's hard to say, hard to know what John Kennedy can do to get them back into this match. He's put McDonald into the ruck. He's a lively customer, and there's a reason for the 15 metres penalty. Steele ran over Ablett after he'd taken the mark.
Well, this is an absolute cakewalk at the moment. Baldwin caught, held to him. Umpire Clayton comes in and will ball it up. Well, Geelong said to the players after the disgrace 2 weeks ago, you can't drink grog on the bus on the way back to Geelong anymore. And I reckon the way that Cats are playing today, they don't like lemonade, they want to get back on the beer.
Here's a chance now for North Melbourne. Jimmy Cracker, short to half forward, and who's on the end of it? Brother Phil. Well, they need to get a lot more possessions than they did in the first half. A miserable effort. Up towards full forward. Jonas couldn't mark. Bairstow recovers well for Geelong. Kicks it out towards the centre of the ground. Punched away by Stoneham. Chance for Robertson for North Melbourne. Coming in strongly is Ross Smith. He can't break clear with the ball. His Couch. Troy. But great backing up by Bairstow. Kicks it in towards centre half forward. No mark taken. Steele for North Melbourne. Paddles it along in front. Chance now for McDonald. Ball runs free. Kerr. Onto Harris. Demetrio. Up towards half forward. Punched away by McCann. He tries to flip it back to Jimmy Cracker. Boss there. Under pressure. Does it well. Brilliant play by Boss. Quick kick towards half forward. The ball bouncing free. Brownless can't control it. In comes Cameron. That's Gary Cameron. Law under pressure. And he's been free kicked. And Johnny Law to take the ball for North Melbourne. He feeds it out to Harris. Harris goes along towards centre half forward.
But there's nobody there for North. Taken by Troy. He'll take a free kick for German's crude tackle. Bruns playing a sensational game. Up towards centre half forward. Just a little bit too high. Comes to the back to Smith. The hand pass to Steele. Good pass to German centre wing. Found himself in some space. Lead in short by McCann. But he's out wide. Oh, gets a bad bounce. Boss played a starring game. Flanagan. Geelong absolutely brilliant. Cole to Darcy. Bairstow back to Darcy, who kept going. Over the wing. Long kick. Brownless. Oh, but good punch away. And the ball out from John Law. One end to the other.
Well, Brownless must have thought his name was written all over that, but Johnny Law, he's a desperado. Playing on Bill Brownless now. Geelong forwards. Geelong all over the field have done it well. The ball goes to half-back. Harris. Robertson intercepts, kicks it quickly. Harris grabs it. Poor kick. Wobbly one towards half-forward. McCann and Boss. Boss does it well. And umpire Cameron decides on a bounce between centre wing and centre half forward. Umpire Cameron. McDonald doing the ruck work for North Melbourne. Gets the tap out, goes towards Jonas. He can't quite control it. Here's a chance for Robertson. He can't break away. On the bottom of the pack, Kerr, the young player playing his third game for North Melbourne. Umpire Cameron will bounce again.
78 plays 21. And North just not in the hunt. Jimmy Cracker fires out a good one to Robertson. Up towards half forward, but too wide for German. Out on the full. And North just can't take a trick.
And the ball been able to get any system into their play whatsoever, North Melbourne. It's been haphazard play to get that ball onto the forward line all day long.
Cole up towards centre wing. Thump forward for North. Running onto it, Larkin. He only get time for one grab, but this time he gets it to Jonas. On to Phil Cracker at centre half forward. Kick across the half forward line. Bairstow punches into German and then applies the tackle. Holding the ball, Peter German. And well played, Bairstow.
There's good desperation by Bairstow to back up and chase German down. He should have maybe taken that mark, but he followed on well and was rewarded with the free kick.
13th kick to Bairstow, out wide to the wing. Stoneham can't mark. Ross Smith doing the shepherding, gives Sean Smith the chance. Over the top, Robertson, he'll be confronted. Out wide on the practice cricket pitch area. Up towards full forward, Fairley can't mark. Chance for Cole, who's done well in defence for Geelong. Free kick to Cole. Pushed when he didn't have it, and he plays on. Kicks it with his 11th kick towards half-back. Stoneham intercepted. Chance now for Bruns. Bounce is a little awkward for him. Shows his annoyance, and it goes over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in. Half-forward flank outer side. The play about 85 metres around from the Geelong goal.
And the Cats haven't had to use either of their interchanges, Ray Card and Damien Burke. And here's a free kick going to Geelong, quickly taken by Hocking. It goes by hand out wide to Bruns. Bit slow this time. Larkin gets him. Crumbs come off to Stoneham, and his kick bounces just over the line, out of bounds on the full, and North's free kick to be taken by Harris.
Harris looks as though he may be on the ball now. Kicks it up towards half forward. Great mark taken by Troy for Geelong. It's been a very, very good team performance by Geelong. At the 7.5-minute mark of the third quarter, they lead 12 goals 6 to 2 goals 9. Robertson can't break away. Another sensational tackle by Geelong. This time it was Couch. He goes after it again. Jimmy Cracker there. Couch gets it. Over to Bairstow. Bairstow's kick around the corner, and the mark taken by Russell. Inside 50 metres. Short passes on, and he finds Ablett. How did he get on his own?
Yeah, well, how do you leave a man like Gary Ablett? There's no one within 30 metres of Gary Ablett, no North Melbourne player. And that leaves him with a shot from about 40 metres out.
5th mark, 8th kick. Chance for his 4th goal. Not a bad looking kick either. Goal umpire moves across ever so slightly. 4 goals to Gary Ablett, and it's all Geelong.
Yes, it's amazing. That's very poor defence by North Melbourne to leave Gary Ablett there by himself. I suppose they just don't know what to do. It's amazing that the score now 13-6-84 to 2-9-21, and North Melbourne seem to have lost all confidence. There's a very good mark by Russell. He's been a good performer for Geelong up across the half-forward line. Sees Ablett by himself and pops it over.
Steele ran the other way.
Back in the centre, and umpire Clayton calls for it and will ball it up again after the centre bounce. 84 to 21. Yes, it's Geelong in front. And North Melbourne firmly in 4th spot. They won't even lose it after this defeat, but you wouldn't know that Geelong were 4th, or rather North were 4th and Geelong 6th on this performance. Gary Cameron fought hard for the ball all day. Oh, Baldwin, great stuff. David Cameron. And another one of the Cats. They are running riot. David Cameron gets his 2nd. And they've kicked 3 goals to nothing in this term.
Been a tremendously determined effort by Geelong today. They've backed up each other, they've ran, they've chased, they've tackled hard. And look at that, they've always had someone there to back their teammates up. Beautiful handball out to Cameron. And there's a result. 90 points now, Geelong, to 21 points North Melbourne at the 10-minute mark of the third quarter.
Well, even the bounce in the centre favours the Cats. Flanagan to Couch. Couch can't break clear. And what can North Melbourne do? Just been frustrated by the Cats all over the ground. Umpire Cameron bounces. Stoneham. Baldwin. McDonald. Who's on the end of it? Bruns. 22 possessions. Up towards half forward, Hocking. Out wide to Russell. Russell's quick kick to the pocket. Over the back, Brownless. Can he control it? Fired it. Kick off the ground by David Cameron's another one. 3rd goal to David Cameron. And who would have guessed that at the 11-minute mark of the third quarter, the scoreboard would show Geelong 15 goals 6 North Melbourne 2 goals 9.
Well, no one would have believed it. You may have thought it would have been the other way around. But they've shown tremendous desperation to come back after that defeat 2 weeks ago to put up a performance like this.
And they win the ball in the middle again. Haven't got it out just yet. And it's whipped away by Kerr. Kept it on going in front of him. Troy. Geelong looking $1 million up towards half-forward flank. Gary Cameron behind Demetrio this time. Well shepherded off by Law, and he hasn't got up since either. And the kick out wide to Steele, who marks just inside the line. John Law came through and crunched Gary Cameron. Steele's kick up towards half-forward flank. All Geelong, and the mark to Andrew Buse. Cameron's out like a light. Onto Cole. Over the wing with his kick. Whistle's gone. What's this? A relayed free. Umpire Clayton having a word with Donald McDonald. And the kick indeed is going up the ground to be taken by Gary Ablett.
Ablett kicks the ball towards half-forward. Here's a chance for Geelong again through David Cameron. Shoots for goal. Oh, the leg break was nearly there. Through for behind. Maybe the umpire should stop play here because this young fellow hasn't moved since being collected by John Law. And perhaps a stretcher will be called for, and I think the stretcher is there. Umpire Cameron has halted play, and fair enough. 15-7 plays 2-9, nearly 13 minutes into the third quarter.
Well, there's Gary Cameron going onto the stretcher. Gary and David started at about the same time this year. Young Gary playing his 6th game, and David, who's kicked the 3 goals today, has played 8. Unrelated, Gary from Catamatat and David from Echuca. And this looks pretty bad for Gary Cameron.
He is conscious, Drew, so that's a good sign. Well, he looks a pretty sick boy as they drag him off there. There's Ray Card, who hasn't played a game since the first round in 1985.
And listen to the rousing reception for Cameron here, and Law. The arm came up afterwards. That was just a beautiful hip and shoulder.
That's right. Yes, there was nothing unfair about it. It was just that Cameron was wide open when Johnny Law collected him. And maybe that might spur North Melbourne on a little bit because they need something to get them going. Let's hope he's not hurt too seriously, young Cameron. He's been a good contributor for Geelong today, and no one likes to see a player seriously injured like that.
So quite a few minutes lost there, and eventually it's the man who did the damage, John Law, to kick in. 97 plays 21. Ablett nudges out his opponent Jonas and gives away the free kick.
Jonas at half-back for North Melbourne, no one on the mark, 15 metres given, and he comes up towards the wing area. Kicks with his 4th kick towards half-forward. Geelong defence, punch the ball away. Chance for Dwyer. Cole, who's done exceptionally well in the defence for Geelong. High towards half-forward. Oh, the crumb gathering. Russell just couldn't quite grasp it. All strong in defence. Young Scholl met by Russell. Gets the handball away to Law. Law up towards the wing. Oh, no mark taken. Dwyer should have. Jonas over the top. Demetrio up towards half-forward. Geelong, strong, tall. Good hands by Flanagan. Away. Out wide, Bairstow. Into the centre, Buse. Good positioning by Buse. He runs past the centre circle. Up towards half-forward. Mark to Brownless. There is nothing that North Melbourne can do to stop this Geelong onslaught. 5th mark to Billy Brownless. Perhaps not quite as accurate as he could have been kicking for goal. He's kicked 2 goals too. Long drop putt, high and handsome. Another one to Geelong. Brownless 3, Gary Ablett 4, David Cameron 3, and Geelong 16-7. 103 lead North Melbourne, 2-9-21.
Yes, that's right. It's an amazing score. 16 minutes into the third quarter, and North Melbourne have only been able to manage 2 goals for the entire match, one in the first quarter and one in the second quarter. And there's Billy Brownless taking a strong mark up at the full forward position. The beautiful drop punt goal from 50 metres out.
Well, Geelong only half a game outside the 5, and with Geelong faltering just ahead of them, they're playing for their place in the 5 today, and who knows? If they have this forward line well balanced for the rest of the season, who knows what a threat they could be. There are a lot of people's tipped to be big improvers this year, but their inconsistency has let them down. But that's the desperation they've shown today. Chipping in to take the mark was Troy. On he goes. And Geelong streaming up the ground. Bairstow playing a top game. Long to Brownless. What a mark! Umpire not quite, didn't pay it. Ray Card gets his first touch. Over to Brownless. And Brownless, well shepherded, goes in and goals. He's kicked 4, Billy Brownless. And Geelong players coming from 100 metres away to slap Ray Card on the back for his part in that. He hasn't played a game of footy in the seniors for a couple of seasons.
He did it well. He just held onto the ball long enough, didn't he? All the time he was going to give it.
Yeah, it's great to see Ray Card back. There was nearly an enormous mark to Bill Brownless, not paid. There's Ray Card, does it well. And North Melbourne made the mistake of not going straight at him. And there it was, a beautiful hand pass to Billy Brownless, who kicks his 4th goal for the afternoon.
Well, to say it was all Geelong would be an understatement. Here they go again. It's out wide. Chance for Buse, who's nearly best on the ground in the back line. Up to Troy. Backed up by Card. Gets the ball away. Sean Smith. Demetrio tackled by Troy. Bruns. Down he goes. Crude tackle by German. Oh, umpire Clayton came in and told him it was a crude tackle. Bruns perhaps making it look a little bit worse than it was, but across the face. 18th kick coming up for Bruns, 21st possession. There's another mark to Geelong. They're taking everything in the air and everything on the ground. This time it's Russell towards full forward. It's at the back. Brownless again. Good interception by Kerr. Out towards half-back, finds the boundary line. Just outside 50 metres. 17-7 plays 2-9, approaching the 19-minute mark.
And would you believe Phil Cracker is now picking up Gary Ablett? That's a surprising move.
Certainly is. Well, down goes Sean Smith. It's socket off the ground by Scholl, up towards centre wing, and the mark taken by Cole.
Couch, I think it is, Drew.
Yeah, it is, Paul Couch. Casting. Just forward of the centre. His little left footer is beautiful. Chest mark to Cameron. And David Cameron, who's kicked 3. A little bit too far out to score, I think. Just outside 50. 5 kicks this term. And if you thought that a 51-point margin was pretty good at half-time, the Cats have kicked 6-1 to nothing this quarter. This is close. In the field of play, Ablett, over his head. And through for a behind.
North Melbourne are a rabble.
Well, there's Gary Cameron on the bench. And it's good to see him clear of eye.
There's the captain sitting alongside him, hasn't had a run yet. Johnny Devine obviously very happy with Flanagan and Stoneham doing the ruck work. And a rare sight, Phil Cracker kicking in from a behind. Free kick at half forward to Geelong to be taken by Cole. His short pass, looking for Ablett, no mark. German, chased by Hocking. German kicks it out to the wide wing. No one there except Geelong, believe it or not. Boss puts the Cats back into attack. Tries to get past, has Flanagan in support, play on. A big torpedo by Flanagan is 70 metres, mark taken by McCann in the last line of defence for North Melbourne.
15 metres, and nobody standing a mark yet. So a long run at that one, back over the centre. All Geelong at ground level. Troy had an option, many options, to Buse, and they switched direction to the outer side. Bairstow's been great. Troy kept going. 20-metre hand pass, puts it out very wide. There's Ray Card again, down towards full forward. Brownless big leap, Ablett as well. Play on. Ablett still going for it. Pulled off the ball when he didn't have it. David Cameron. Oh, what a goal that is. He has kicked 4, including 3 this quarter.
What backing up by the Geelong side. It's just been magnificent. This has been a perfect display of football. 18 goals, 8, 116 to North Melbourne. 2 goals, 921. An unbelievable score.
They'd nearly beat anyone.
Oh, on today's performance. But gee, they're an amazing side. One week they can look the worst side in the league, and the next week they can look the best side in the league. And their backing up today has just been absolutely magnificent.
Flanagan down to Bairstow, and the Cats are in attack again. It may sound monotonous, but it is happening. Couch ducks, gets out of it. Oh, great kick by Couch to full forward, and another mark. Brownless. Gary Ablett, Billy Brownless and David Cameron have kicked 4 goals each. Here's a chance for Brownless to make it 5. He's taken 6 marks. And even the 2 behinds that he's kicked could easily have been goals. .30 metres out. Brownless kicks offline. Shocker.
Yeah, he seems to like them from a little bit further out, Billy Brownless. Gets the jitters a little bit around the 30 to 40 metre mark. Whereas where he's about 50 to 55, he really goes back and unloads and follows through with the kick.
Another interchange between the youngsters, and Alistair Clarkson back on. A high tackle on Hughes. He'll take the free kick, and he should get 15.
It's really an undisciplined performance by North Melbourne at the moment. I suppose they had to try something, but what they are doing is giving away free kicks and 15-metre penalties.
The margin 96. They're going for a century lead, and Ablett marks not far off centre and about 35 metres out. And Geelong should lead by a century before 3/4 time. 6 marks to Gary Ablett, and coming up for his 11th kick.
Gee, he'd love this with Phil Cracker playing on him, wouldn't he?
Yeah.
Well, he does seem a little bit short, Robbo. Just a little bit.
Well, Ablett, he's kicked 2 this quarter, 4 for the game. Missed it again. Seems amazing that they lead by 97 and have squandered some chances.
Yes, if they had a kick straight, it would have been 150 points at this stage.
Well, both Ablett and Brownless have kicked 4-3.
Johnny Law. Hoots from Geelong fans. He cleaned up young Cameron. Chance for Baldwin. Jimmy Cracker can't break away. Free kick paid out of that altercation. Goes to Mossop. Out towards the wing. Mark taken by Steele. North Melbourne, it'd be one of their rare chances up forward. Over the top. But who's there? Geelong. Strong in defence. Hard up against the boundary line. Kick by Cole lands in the arms of Exel. And here's Cole running up to take the hand pass. Exel won't give it to him, though. He kicks it up towards the wing. No mark taken. Law there for North Melbourne. Stoneham, Russell. Looping handball out wide. Chance here for Ross Smith. Oh, great interception there for Geelong by Ablett. Goes up towards the wing. Troy can't break away. There's a chance there for Stoneham. Hand pass over the top. Cole. Kick up towards half forward. Ablett waits for it to bounce. It goes to the back. Phil Cracker. Short pass in towards half back. And the mark taken by Ross Smith.
Into time on in the 3rd quarter. And the Cats have kicked 7-4 to nothing in this term. Comes to the front to Robertson. He's buffeted off it. McDonald back to Larkin. Hardly had leather today. Matthew Larkin gave it straight away to Boss. Poor old kick, though, straight to Mossop. He must have thought that Mossop was still playing for the Cats. To Demetrio. Look out! Hocking. Oh, Demetrio slipped the tackle but dropped the ball. Now he's in trouble. North fumbling everywhere. Robertson. Up towards centre half forward to McDonald. Boss is back there on him. All Geelong ground level. Bruns are now wide open. Watch this big goal set up from centre-half back. Bairstow to centre-half forward, and David Cameron's got it again inside 50. Little hand pass, but a bit too fancy for Bruns, and he dropped it. Robertson's hand pass away. Goes to Clarkson. North looking for their first score for the term. Demetrio claimed the mark. Play on.
Out wide, he finds Sean Smith. Sean Smith on centre wing. North Melbourne, we need a goal bad. Up towards half forward. Mark taken by Buse. He plays on. Geelong doing everything right. Cole, half back. One bounce. Steadies. Kicks it long towards half forward. No one home for the Cats. Chance for Stoneham. He's outnumbered by Mossop and Ross Smith. Mossop comes back with it. Kicks it high towards the wing. High flyer. Sean Smith can't mark. A little too casual. And the Geelong player in Bairstow, desperate, throws himself on the ball, and umpire Cameron will bounce. Bairstow's kick a few minutes ago to David Cameron was a beauty from centre wing to centre half forward. Just a little bit of lairising there by the Geelong team. And if that looks a concerned coach of North Melbourne, so be it. Bounce there, Stoneham. Oh, with finesse. Left foot kick towards full forward. No mark taken. Phil Cracker overruns it. Taken off him by Russell. He can't break clear, and the umpire will bounce at centre half forward for Geelong.
And they've lost all confidence, North Melbourne. Phil Cracker had plenty of time to pick that one up. He took his eye off the ball, and Geelong were able to close in.
Larkin, you've got to do something to get rid of it these days, and he is penalised. It's always been in the book, but the new interpretation comes in this week, which is interesting that they might change the interpretation not only mid-season, but in the middle of a split round. Free kick to Neville Bruns. He's outside 50. Lead in short, Ablett, or Cameron, and this man's going to kick his fourth for the term.
Really, this is just too easy, isn't it? You know, it's a disgraceful performance by North Melbourne.
Well, about 3 seasons ago, I saw Essendon lead North by over 100 at half-time at Windy Hill. Naturally, that was a premiership year to the Bombers. Now, Geelong looked like winning this by about 130. Does this tell us something about what might happen on the last Saturday in September? That's a great kick by Cameron. He's kicked 5 for the match, 4 this quarter, and the lead now over a century, 103 points.
And John Kennedy must be tearing his hair out at this stage. Nearly three-quarter time here, and Geelong have just cracked the ton. 103 points in front of North Melbourne, and North Melbourne really just have not looked like it.
Bounce is a good one. Punch away by Mossop. Who's there? Bairstow. He's had the ball a lot.
9
towards half forward.
9 kicks this quarter, Bairstow.
David Cameron looking for goal number 5 this quarter. Little stab shot. Not bad. Another one. 6 goals to David Cameron. 20 goals to Geelong. They're 20 goals 10. 130. And North Melbourne have kicked 2 goals 9-21.
Well, the North Melbourne player did the right thing there. That was young Scholl. He attacked the ball, but there it was. Geelong have had the luck all day. I wouldn't say the luck, but they've made their luck. It bounced over the back to Cameron, and he kicks his 5th for the quarter and 6th for the match.
Prior to this, David Cameron had kicked just 6 goals in his league career in 7 matches. Now he's kicked 5 1/4 and 6 today. Robertson puts it out wide to Clarkson. North still looking for their first score for the quarter. It goes to Steele. And that is a score, not a goal. And the ironic cheers around the MCG as North get on the scoreboard in this quarter. They get a point at the 30.5-minute mark.
Kick in by the Cats. Chance for Couch. Little one over the top, and they've got plenty of space on the members' wing. Buse goes through the wing area, kicks it long towards half forward. No mark taken, the ball at the back. Phil Cracker fumbles. Oh, they're having a shocking day. Jimmy Cracker probably hasn't had a touch for the whole of the quarter. Phil perhaps a little fortunate. He's been switched into defence and he's kicked off once or twice.
Well, he's been in the play a lot, that's one thing. Up on the Geelong forward line.
Boundary throw in 3-4 metres around from the Geelong goal. Phil Cracker's had 5 kicks this quarter. His brother hasn't had it much. Cameron again. Is it? Another goal.
That was Ablett. Gary Ablett.
Goal number 5 to Gary Ablett. 4 to Brownless. 6 to David Cameron. Geelong go marching on.
Magnificent snap by Gary Ablett. And really, they must think all their Christmases have come at once today. They haven't had a lot of opposition from North Melbourne, who you would think had not won a game for the season by their performance today.
John Devine now on the boundary line. He did a bit of hot gospeling, I believe, just before the game. Really revved up the Cats, and haven't they responded? Here's a free kick in the middle to Robertson, who limps back to take the kick just forward of the centre circle. Puts it out wide. Fairley. He has hardly had a touch, Ian Fairley.
Well, that'll be about his first touch for the quarter. He's been completely out of business. It is. First possessions for the quarter.
Great kick. And it's home for a goal. Well, it's their first goal for the quarter at the 32.5-minute mark.
And good to see they've kept their record intact, because that makes a goal in the first 3 quarters at least. They've been able to manage one in the first, one in the second, and that's one at the 32-minute mark of the 3rd quarter. And they're only able to manage that because there's been so many goals kicked by the Geelong side that there's 7 minutes of time on.
Well, they've been outscored 5 goals to 1, 6 goals to 1, and 10 goals to 1.
10 goals they've kicked this quarter, Geelong. Gee whiz. 33 minutes gone. 21-10 plays 3-10. Mossop trying to lift his side. Robertson, who hasn't done a bad job for North Melbourne since coming off the bench. Up towards half forward. Chance for Clarkson. Bad luck, North. The siren sounds to end the 3rd quarter. And Geelong have killed them. 21-10, 136. North Melbourne 3-10, 28. And that's Geelong's best quarter in the 3rd quarter on record
against North.
Goal kickers for Geelong. 6 goals to David Cameron. 5 to Gary Ablett. 4 to Brownless. 2 to Bruns. 1 each to Bairstow, Russell, Gary Cameron and Stoneham. And for North Melbourne, this will be quick. Fairley, Rowan Robertson and Jonas.
Yes, and this has really been an avalanche, hasn't it? An avalanche of goals for the Geelong side. It's been a tremendous performance by them. They are a really skilled side, and once they get that flow on play going, and also they've been a tremendously determined side today. They've shown a lot of determination and desperation. They've tackled well, they've ran, they've chased, they've harassed. It's been a really complete performance by the Geelong side. In that quarter, they kicked 10 goals 4 to North Melbourne's 1 goal 1, and they've completely dominated this match right from the start. And who would have believed it after their woeful display up at Carrara 2 weeks ago? This is a completely revitalised Geelong side. And they could be in the 5 by the end of today if Footscray are defeated by Carlton. And they really deserve to be there on today's performance, because they've been a tremendously disciplined and determined side.
So we go into the last quarter, a 108-point lead to Geelong, who'll be in the 5 tonight. They'll displace Footscray, who are being thumped today by Carlton. Out of the middle, North Melbourne go forward straight away, and Kennedy gave them a real pasting at three-quarter time. Steele on the forward line, just gets the kick in, but out of bounds on the full. Good pressure by Darcy. Darren Steele goes back to pick up Exel, and Tim Darcy takes the kick.
Darcy kicks it towards the wing area. Good mark taken by Stoneham in front of Smith. Bernie, you mentioned about poor discipline by North Melbourne, and there was another example. The big fellow in front, Smith going for the mark. Stoneham takes it, gives it across to Exel, up towards half forward. Mark taken by Law. Looks like a battered North Melbourne player. Be a reasonable chance. Young Harris. The play now at half forward. Russell. Millie gave the hand pass, then kicked, was smothered. Chance for Scholl. Bruns. Plenty of possessions out wide. Russell. Kicks towards half forward. It's a poor kick. In short, the free kick will go to Geelong at half forward. Back there to Bairstow. He's 55 metres out from goal. He's had 19 kicks and 7 hand passes until three-quarter time. 27th possession. Is that a mark? Surely he might be paid. Billy Brownless. Mark of the day potential. Completely out of position. Taps it twice and brings it back to himself. And a chance for the Cats to kick their 22nd goal 2 minutes into the last quarter. Brownless comes across it a little and misses. Well, he's kicked 4 goals, 4, and really he could have easily kicked 8.
Yes, they haven't been hard shots at all, the ones that he has missed. And it's disappointing when you miss those ones, even though Geelong have such a commanding lead. These days don't come along that often, and you like to make the most of them.
Kick in. Mossop taps to the back to the advantage of North, but German can't get a handle on the ball, and he's tripped over and will take the free kick. And you wonder what of the future of Michael Turner, who played in the seconds today for the first time in 14 years, 225 games. Didn't think he'd get in next week after the seniors have done so well today. Fairley's kick towards centre half forward. Smith over the top. What a mark.
He can't take a grab, this boy. He's an exciting prospect. But he hasn't done a lot on the day, as most of his teammates have been missing in action.
5 kicks only to Sean Smith. Not bad, though. It might have just got there. Oh, 1 centimetre to spare, it was touched through.
Darcy to kick the ball in for the Cats. 21-12, plays 3-10. Members side looking for Stoneham, a punch away. Bruns, who has roved excellently all day. A man on his own, 20 metres, card. Short pass. Brownless, ever so easy. Short pass by Brownless. Ablett. And yes, viewers, that is his opponent in the background, Phil Cracker. 7th mark. He's kicked 5 goals, 2. And with his 13th kick, he just could make it 6 goals. Leading goal kicker for the Cats so far is David Cameron, who's kicked 6 goals, 2. Ablett shoots for goal. It's come around nicely. Goal number 6 to Gary Ablett. Goal number 22 for the Cats. 22 goals, 11, plays 3 goals, 11.
It's good play by Billy Brownless. Popped it over, an excellent lead by Gary Ablett. And I've been waiting for this North Melbourne side to turn it around a little bit, to come good and get a bit of flow on and a bit of respectability to their score. But it seems as though Geelong really want to improve their percentage and make the finals this year.
Mossop wins in the middle. Bairstow gets the hand pass away. Couch, long to full forward. Brownless from behind. Didn't reach it. McCann the mark. Steve McCann dragging down his 6th mark for the day. A 15-metre penalty against Brownless. McCann almost up to the 50-metre line. Straight down the centre of the ground. Rides it over the neck. Free kick to Geelong. Exel's in there. Raffle the man to take the free, and it'll be Flanagan. And a 15-metre penalty against Mossop. So, kick to kick. Ablett offers a bit of a lead. Oh, Brownless almost drags down his 2nd mark of the year. Ball held to Russell. No, the umpire said he was holding it. And quickly the free is taken by hand out to Demetriou.
Demetriou with a little bit of space. He's had 2. That's his 3rd bounce. Through centre wing. Obviously no one to kick it to. He thumps it high into the forward line. Punched away. Here it comes. Rebound football. Troy over the top to Cole. Cole's hand pass is smothered. Attempted tap on by Larkin. Boss is there for Geelong. With determination, he can't break away. German's hand pass. Robertson. Now a chance for Jonas. Back to Steele. Steele shoots for goal and puts it through to keep up the North Melbourne average. They've kicked 4 goals, 1 in each quarter. 22-11 plays 4-11, and we're 6.5 minutes into the last quarter.
Good play by Jimmy Cracker, who's had one of those days that he'd rather forget, to cut off that hand pass. And they did chase well here in North Melbourne to keep the ball into the forward line. Good pressure also from Geelong. They managed to get the handball out. And there's Steele popping through his 1st goal for the afternoon. And North Melbourne's 4th.
Mossop beats Flanagan. The North haven't been getting the ball out of the middle too often. Robertson still hasn't got it out of the middle. Exel. Ball held to him. And umpire Cameron says, give it to me and I'll ball it up. 143 plays 35. And here's the skipper just back from America. Well, he hasn't played for 8 weeks, Damien Burke. And he's been on a promotional trip to San Francisco and Vancouver with the chairman of the commission, Ross Oakley. Larkin, very quiet for one of the favourites in the Brownlow medal. Out to Robertson. Centering kick. That's a kick and hope. Up in the air, you take it, he said. Smith kick smothered by Troy. Well played by Troy. Up the ground to that first game of Baldwin. Gets away the hand pass. Unstuck. Larkin. Open goal coming up for North here. Fairly 20 metres out. And North have actually kicked 2 1/4. And Fairley gets his 2nd for the day.
Yes, and John Kennedy would be wishing and hoping and wondering why hadn't they done this from the word go. Bit of a bad fumble there by the Geelong defender coming out there. Good handball by Larkin over to Fairley. And he pops through their 5th goal for the afternoon.
Poor bounce by umpire Clayton Mossop. Across to Law. Streaming through the centre. Another chance for North. Sean Smith. Cole stays on his feet. Kicks it out towards the wing. Bairstow around the corner. Russell nearly takes a specky. Couch. Russell again. Exel there. Handball out. A little too high for Couch. Oh, down he goes. Law and Ross Smith. Exel again. Can't break clear. Dropping the ball, umpire Cameron says. Exel disappointed. Jonas to take the ball for North Melbourne on centre wing. North Melbourne in the last couple of minutes shown a bit of desperation, perhaps a bit earlier. It may have been a reasonable match. Up towards half forward. Comes out of it Hocking. Jimmy Cracker flips on for Sean Smith. Tackled by Hocking. Good play. Comes back. Chance for Boss. Robertson. Tackled by Flanagan. Sean Smith tries to break clear. Good tackle, Boss. Good tackle, Bairstow. Holding the ball at half back. Free kick to the Cats. Take it back, boys. You must go over your mark. Bairstow at half back for Geelong.
He's played an excellent game, Mark Bairstow. 22 kicks. Centre of the ground. Brownless a long way up. That's Ablett. A couple of times he's beaten Phil Cracker, not so much for height, but for pace off the mark. Off to Troy, up to half forward. Attempted tap on by David Cameron. Stoneham gets it up the ground to Ray Card. Oh, Cameron! What a goal! And he's just knocked up kicking goals. That's his 7th for the day, including 5 in the 3rd quarter.
Yes, he's been a surprise packet, David Cameron. Good play by Stoneham to tap it on. McCann had the chance to really run through Ray Card. And there it was, out to Cameron. And he's got plenty of goal sense, this boy.
He's the man who would have thought Christmas came early. 108 points Geelong lead by. 23 years of age, played a handful of games and kicked 7 goals in one afternoon. Steele through the centre, goes for a long torpedo off the side of the boot. Donald McDonald, tackled by Darcy, gets the kick away, marked by Steele at centre half forward, only 40 metres out. The statisticians will be running for new pencils to mark down Geelong goals, North Melbourne goals in this last quarter. They've already kicked 2. Steele a chance to make it 3, just offline. 5-12 North, 23 goals, 11 the Cats.
Hughes has kicked in quite often this season for Geelong. Not too sure what to do with this one. Straight up the ground, not bad. Exel flies and takes an excellent mark. Looks round, nobody on the mark, so he says, righto, here I go. Ablett at centre half forward with Phil Cracker. Ablett to the ground, Cracker. Out wide to Jim. A long way out from goal. He uses his pace to burn them off. Inboard he goes to Scholl.
Sean Smith, I think it is.
Sean Smith from near the boundary line. It's a great goal. It's a pity it hasn't given them a chance to win. But in fact, all it's done is reduce the margin to 101 points.
Yes, at least they're still having a go, North Melbourne. It's a pity they didn't do it a lot earlier, but they weren't allowed to do it because Geelong played so well. And there's the Geelong skipper, Damien Burt, coming onto the ground. First game in 8 weeks, and big Darren Flanagan's having a rest.
Well, they've killed them, Geelong. All over the field. Rovers, Bruns, Hocking. Here's Bairstow. Kick number 23. Goes for goal. Over the top. Through for a behind. Bit of slow motion football there by Geelong. For Russell it was that got the ball out. And Bairstow has kicked 1 goal. Missed a rather simple shot. McCann kicks it into half-back.
Thump forward. Well inside 50 now. Ross Smith getting back there under a bit of pressure. Oh, Robertson fumbles. And not a bad little kick to Law on the 50-metre line. John Law up towards centre wing. Fairly underneath the ball. Good pressure by Geelong. They lead by over a century and they're throwing themselves at it. Cole back to Buse. Good spin, Andrew Buse. Top stuff. Back to the centre. David Cameron floated in the air. Baldwin went without it. Back into the pack. German. Blind hand pass over the top. Fumble. Comes to Larkin. Well, he put it out to nobody. Couch. Ducks a tackle. Gets free. Geelong into attack again. Good penetrating kick by Couch. Brownless at half-forward flank. The 2 number 16s. Brownless can't keep it in. Throwing.
Well, I don't know whether Buse played his first game in the back pocket for Geelong or Victoria, but gee whiz, he seems to have settled in there like a hand in glove. Throw in, taken out of the air by Stoneham, who's done well in the ruck. Bruns kick towards full forward. Brownless can't mark. At the back, Card. Hand pass. Ablett. Out of bounds on the full. Free kick to North Melbourne in the back pocket. 23 goals, 12. North Melbourne, 6-12.
Smith had to go on with it and just kicked it anywhere. Put it out in front of Robertson. Stoneham giving chase. up over the wing. Jim Cracker, we haven't seen too much of these skills today. Back to Robertson. Oh, shocking kick. And beats Jonas by 15 metres out of bounds. Oh, that's terrible. And you don't expect a team coached by John Kennedy to perform like this.
Well, they've never really been anywhere near boiling point, North Melbourne. Geelong jumped away 5-2 in the first quarter to 1-5, and it's been a procession ever since. Stoneham a little slow. Law, David Cameron, Burke, his first chance. Jimmy Cracker over to Fairley. Fairley up towards full forward. McDonald can't mark. Steele into an open goal. Goal number 7 to North Melbourne. Goal number 2 to Darren Steele.
And it's been an avalanche of goals for North Melbourne this quarter.
Yeah, they've actually kicked 4 goals in the term, 4 goals to 2, and they've got the margin back to under a century.
This was a good attempt to mark by Donald McDonald. He would have had it had not Steele stolen it off him. And there it is. Pops through an easy one. North Melbourne's 7th goal for the afternoon. Trailing Geelong, who have kicked 23 goals, 12. And we're at the 16.5-minute mark of the last quarter.
Burke against Mossop. They contested for number 1 spot at Geelong last year. Now they're opponents. Comes back to Mossop. Couch gets the hand pass away in a hurry to Boss. Long kick inside half forward. That's gone a mile. And German drops back to take the mark for North. North players on the wing. German goes in that direction. Mossop and Burke again. Oh, Ray Card. Top stuff. Good to see you back, Ray Card. Did he get one in the back? Might have. Didn't get a free, though. Out of play.
Boundary throw in on centre wing. Mossop gets the tap to the back. Dwyer off the side of the boot. And the ball will be taken at half back by Cole. Well, Geelong have been good all over the field. Here's another player who's done well. 19 kicks for Michael Cole. Half-back flank. No mark taken by German. Chance for Dwyer. Well tackled by David Cameron. Dropping the ball. Rewarded for persistence again. And the Cats have done it well. 7 goals this young man's kicked. He's had 17 kicks. Unselfishly up forward. Gary Ablett can't mark. Jonas picks up the crumbs. Feeds the handball into little Clarkson. Clarkson through the centre towards half forward. Mark taken for North Melbourne by Jimmy Cracker. Well, at this late stage in the game, keep your cool, Jim. There's not much you can win for the rest of the day. Short pass, kick number 7, finds German in the pocket. And Peter German a chance for North Melbourne. They've kicked 7 goals, 12. And 4 of those 7 have come in the last quarter. 14 kicks to Peter German. Right up into the front of goals. Chance for Sean Smith. Darcy can't break away from a Mossop tackle, and a bounce will take place right in the 10-metre square.
Approaching the 19-minute mark in the last turn. Clean possession, McDonald. Thumped away by Darcy. Jim Cracker, oh, it looked like a throw. Look at the amount of Geelong players there. Card's the one who picks up. Dangerous kick across the half-back line, but it hurries out of bounds. And a throw in on the 50-metre line. What's that thing? An elf?
Is that elf?
Oh, no, never seen that, Chad.
You gotta be joking. Half forward flank, Stoneham over the top. Here's a chance now for North Melbourne. Robertson can't break clear. David Cameron again. If he's not in attack, he's getting the ball clear on the centre wing area. Up towards half forward. Mark taken for Geelong by Russell.
It's the best game I've seen him play for the Cats. He was a star interstater for South Australia.
Yes, he's performed well today, but if you're on the Geelong forward line, you would have to play well because it's been up there so much of the time.
Russell up towards full forward. Mark taken by McCann. He's tried that looping left-hand hand pass again. He's got more courage than I would have tried. Up towards half-back. Mark taken by Clarkson. Play on, says the umpire. David Cameron, crude tackle. Clarkson, free kick. Wide hand pass. German. Kick number 17. Up towards the wing. No mark taken. Geelong are there again. Boss feeds the handball over. Here's a chance for Card. Card come back onto the right foot. Kicks it high towards the centre wing area. Dwyer there for North Melbourne. Plays on quickly. Kicks it into the Jim Cracker region. He's at the back of the pack, inside 50 metres. Unselfish short pass finds Donald McDonald, only 20 metres out directly in front.
Yes, you can't give Jimmy Cracker any space, because even though we haven't seen much of his magic today, it's been a very quiet day. Only 3 kicks for the afternoon, which is most un-Jimmy Cracker-like.
McDonald punts for goal and puts it through. 8 goals, 12 North Melbourne. 23 goals, 12 Geelong. And it just puts a little bit of respectability on the scoreboard for North Melbourne.
Yes, at least they have outscored Geelong in this last quarter. They've kicked 5 goals to Geelong's 2. And there's the skill of Jimmy Cracker, getting it over to Donald McDonald. Good unselfish play. I think most other players would have had a shot at goal.
I reckon John Kennedy might have said, you outscore them in this last quarter, otherwise I'll see you at 5:30 in the morning. Troy, backman, up towards full forward. Brownless climbs high, no mark. There's David Cameron boxing on still, applying the tackle, runs a snap, and a goal. Three goals to Neville Bruns. And he'd be up in the region's 30 possessions.
Be the best game I've seen him play.
Yeah. He's played very well, Neville Bruns. Nearly another good mark to Brownless. He's contested well up there at full forward. But a feature of Geelong today has been their tackling, and they haven't let anything out of their forward line easily.
Stephen McCann would be a little frustrated playing in that last line of defence. He's made a couple of shocking blues. Johnny Mossop in the ruck for North Melbourne. Beaten this time by Burke. Strong play by North Melbourne. Up towards full forward. Smith can't mark. The ball at the back. McDonald. Here's a chance to give it back to Jimmy Cracker. He does. Cracker goes for goal, and he puts it through. 9th goal on the board to North Melbourne. And it's goal for goal in the last quarter. 24-12 Geelong, 9-12 North Melbourne.
Good play by Donald McDonald. Out to Jimmy Cracker. He's always looking to give it away to someone in a better position, but decided to have a shot at goal there, and that's his first goal for the day, Jimmy Cracker. A very quiet day.
And Burke wins the tap out of the middle. Chance for the Cats again. Exel, great hand pass to Bruns, but it went through him pretty quickly. Back to Bruns it goes, in front, 35 metres out, and he kicks his second in the space of a couple of minutes.
Yeah, and there goes Brunsy. He's running back to the centre with a big smile on his face. As well he ought to too today, because he's played a tremendous game for the Cats. There's a handball out. Bruns on the left foot. Snapshot at goal. And that's Geelong's 25th goal for the afternoon.
29 possessions it is for Bruns.
Burke gets a big thump out. Jonas, Robertson. Towards half forward, Sean Smith, a diving mark inside 50 metres. And Mick Cole, you can shake your head, but everything else has been perfect from you. Demetriou and Card. Demetriou fights on when the ball hits the ground. He's going to be frustrated by Ray Card. In towards half forward. Smith can't take the specky. At the back, Michael Cole. Oh, you should have kicked it. Play on, says the umpire. Sean Smith over the top. Jonas at centre half forward. Well tackled by Bruns. The ball runs free. Sean Smith goes with the left foot and misses. German on the bench for North Melbourne. A little disappointed. Darcy to kick in for the Cats.
95 points the difference. Oh, good to see you back too. Damien Burke taking the mark at half-back flank. And a 25 or 30-metre hand pass to Cole. Up to half-forward. Brownless at the back, but it didn't reach him. McCann. Oh, no.
Well, I think Steve McCann was very happy to see that one go over the line. He's seen enough goals go through for Geelong this afternoon.
Boundary throw in about 35, 40 metres around from the Geelong goal. High over the top, Stoneham a little too early, gave away a free kick, and it'll go back to North Melbourne's Harris. Half-back line, plays on quickly, kicks it into the centre, looking for Mossop. Up over the top, the high flyer, Sean Smith, free kick given away. Play on, no, go back. Free kick against Mossop.
Yeah, well, it must have been interference against Mossop against...
He's a bit lucky there, Burke, because
Damien Burke.
He was playing on. The hand pass was blocked, and he was allowed to then have a kick. To centre half forward, comes to the back. Overrun by Troy, kicked away by Ablett, and the ball out of play. At the 26.5-minute mark in the last term, the margin 95 points after North have kicked 6 goals to 4 in this last term.
26.5 minutes. 2 26s at the 26-minute mark. Bruns into the pocket. Flip on by Cameron. Kick off the ground. Brownless. He's going to run into an open goal. Oh! How far the Cats. 5th goal to Brownless.
Yeah, great stuff, Billy Brownless.
25-12 to 9-13.
A good play by Cameron to keep it in. And there's Billy Brownless, sold the dummy to Steve McCann and raced around and put it through. Been a good afternoon for Billy Brownless. He's kicked 5 goals, 4. And he could have had 7 or 8. He's missed a couple of easy ones.
The margin back over a century, 101. Jonas using body, tapped on, intercepted by Ross Smith, kick smothered by Burke. You've got to kick it pretty high to get it over him. Hughes. Hand pass up and down in the one spot. Jonas gets free, delivers it out wide to Clarkson. Slips the tackle of Boss. Up to full forward, but off direction. Oh, good mark. Tim Darcy, well done, at full tilt.
This fella came up through the Teal Cup.
Yep.
Obviously a lot of good players coming out of that competition, played all around Australia.
About the same time as Lockett and Salmon and a few of those, I think.
Stoneham, oh, skills. Kick up towards the wing, marked by Card. His kick, taken by Russell. Slung as he kicks, up towards half forward. Goes over as David Dwyer takes possession. And we'll have a boundary throw in about 40 metres around from the Geelong goal. Perhaps just enough time for the Cats to score again. Nearly 29 minutes gone. Stoneham, here it is. Cameron, goal number 8. Doesn't miss many, this boy. Well, if he does, we haven't seen it this afternoon.
No, he's had a picnic this afternoon, Cameron. And gee, that was just too easy for Geelong. Here's a boundary throw in. And no one from North Melbourne down on the defensive side. And that was straight down Cameron's throat for a very easy goal.
It's amazing that before today he'd kicked 6 goals in his league career. He gets 8 in one day. Margin 107 points, so they've only lost the quarter by a point, the Cats. Chance for Sean Smith, but he gets a bad bounce. Good tap by Buse, but Smith thumps it further afield. Chance for Jim Cracker, sprints onto it and kicks it. His second in the final term.
And at least North Melbourne have added a little bit of respectability to their scoring this last quarter. 3 goals at three-quarter time. They've kicked 7 in this last quarter, and they've been able to find a little bit of space up on that forward line. And there's Jimmy Cracker kicking his second.
"17 goals, bar 1 point, the lead for Geelong. That man there spent nearly all of the game on the interchange bench. Now he gets a tap out. Chance for Russell. Hand pass to Bairstow. Bairstow's kick up towards full forward. Over the back. McCann punches it away over the boundary line, and we'll have a throw in 45 metres around from the Geelong goal. Over the 30-minute mark. And the Cats 27-12. North Melbourne 10-13.
Well, we've had 13 goals in the last quarter, so it'll be a pretty long one. Burke taps down to Troy. Ball held to him, and the umpire will ball it up. 37 goals for the afternoon. Been a fair bit of flag waving by the goal umpires, mostly when Geelong have been kicking at goals. Grin from umpire Cameron before he balls it up. Oh, well done. Through went Russell, onto Ablett, and he's hit the post from about 8 metres out.
It's 6 goals for to Gary Ablett for the afternoon. He's been one of the Geelong forwards that have really benefited from a very determined centre line and ruck division of this Geelong side.
McCann kicks it to half-back. Couch is there. Geelong are in attack again. Bruns thumps it towards the forward pocket area. Ablett onto the left, onto the right, shoots for goal. Hooks it too far. Through for a behind to Geelong. They lead 27-14, 176. North Melbourne 10-13, 73. We're nearly 32 minutes into the last quarter.
The view from behind, Steve McCann as he kicks in. All Geelong at ground level. Couch going backward to Card. Steele punches away from Troy, goes to Bairstow, around the boundary line. Chance here for Brownless. At the back, Ablett. He's kicked 2 behinds in the last couple of minutes. Loses it this time to Steele. His kick over half-back. Mossop and Burke. And in front, Russell almost. Mossop to Demetrio. Going for a bit of a gallop. Up to centre-half forward, Jim Cracker. Views. Oh, good hands, Jimmy. Too far out to score. Lead by McDonald. In short, Demetrio, who kept going. And now he's just outside 50. Pops it up for Smith, who dives and marks within kicking distance. Sean Smith. He's taken 7. Probably better known for his high leaping marks rather than his low diving ones. Well, a couple of weeks ago we had a North Melbourne goal after the siren to win a match. This one to lose by about 90. And Smith has kicked it. Well, they finished up showing a bit in the last quarter, and in fact North kicked 8 goals in the last term, but the margin was, let me see, 97 points. And have Geelong bounced back?